Hello again. In this video, we're going to be accurately calculating our guess. When we push up, 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 you'll see that it's heading up, and down, 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 it heads back down again. We'll fix a bug to do with the guesses not going all the way up to 1,000, and we'll tidy up the way that we're greeting our player and the text that we have in relation to the guess. We'll make sure that the text all makes sense. So let's get cracking. I'm starting to see a few more questions in our Q&A section about our code. Some people missing their braces, not knowing exactly where to put the semicolons, and looking for a point of comparison. So I'll remind you again about our GitHub repo that we have available. If you are in any of our lectures, and let me just go grab the previous lecture that we just had, up in the top left, you'll see the three little lines up here. If you click on that, against every single one of our lectures, you'll see something called Lecture Project Changes. If you click on that, it will take you to our GitHub repository. This is all free. You don't need a login. It's all public, and it's where we put our code and our code changes. So the lecture that we just were going through, scope and context of variables, you can see that there's a commit here called scope and context of variables, and then all of the changes that we've made in our various documents. So the document here we're looking at, the first one is our numberwizard.cs, the script we're working in. Anything that's in red has been changed or deleted. Anything that is in green has been added. So you can see, oh, that's exactly what Rick or Ben has updated in that particular video. Oh, they added max equals guess. I thought it was something else. So you can see exactly what we've added or removed. And then also you can see the changes we made to our README file down here. Each video also has a README that we put against it. You can navigate around a little bit more. If you come back up to the top, click on Browse Files. This is where you'll see our project state right at the moment, right as it is for this particular lecture. So every lecture, it takes a snapshot of the state of our project. If we click on Number Wizard Console, that's the name of our project. Assets, that's the directory that we're working in. Just jump back over to Unity for a second. So we're in our Assets folder here. And we're working in numberwizard.cs. If you click on that, then you'll see the script in its entirety as it is right at that point in time as we finish the lecture. So if you get completely lost and like nothing is working at all here, you could totally go and copy our entire script here and then paste that into your script, and you would have exactly what we had if you wanted to do that. Or you can just grab a certain part of it and compare our start method to your start method. So that's how you can catch up if there's any issues or problems, or you want to know exactly what we're working on. We give you absolutely everything, or as much everything as we can get away with through our GitHub repo. Now for our mission in this video, we're going to be calculating the guess by using our min plus max divided by 2 that we talked about a bunch in the previous video. So I'm now down in our update method. Update? It's probably an update, not an update. Update method down here. And we've said that min equals guess because we established the fact that when a player makes a guess, if they've pushed up, they're saying, sorry, not when the player makes a guess, but when we've made a guess and the player is saying whether it's correct or not, if the player pushes up, it says that our guess was too low, so that now becomes our minimum. If we've guessed at 500 and the player says, well, it was higher than that, now our minimum is 500 as per guess. We can add another line after this where we say guess equals, open brackets, max plus min, and then outside of the brackets divided by 2, semicolon. So what we're saying here is that our guess is the maximum plus the minimum divided by 2. We've talked about that a bunch. That's the midpoint we're intersecting in between our potential guesses. So what's going on here? We're saying that minimum equals guess, but guess equals something else. Can we do that? Yes, we can, because within our if statement here, our lines, our statements are going to be executed one at a time, and Unity is going to look at it and say, okay, I'll do that, then I'll do this, then I'll do this, then I'll do this, going through this if statement. So min is going to store, remember it's a variable, so it's like a box, it's going to store what we tell it, which is guess. We know the value for guess is 500, and then we say, okay, now there's a new guess, there's a new value we want to give to guess, so whatever is on the right is going to be assigned to guess. And on the right is the maximum plus the minimum. The maximum is whatever it was currently. Currently it's 1,000 plus minimum. We've just defined that minimum here is 500 divided by 2. So our next guess would be 750. Okay, so that's our logic there for updating what the guess is. We can do exactly the same down in our down arrow. between max equals guess and debug.log, we're going to say guess equals, open brackets, max plus min divided by 2. We could have just copy and pasted it, but it's good to practice that typing there. So we've got the same situation where we're recalculating the guess. In this case, we're redefining what min is. In this case, we're redefining what max is based upon what was pressed. Let's save that and back into Unity and see what we get from doing that. Let's click on play. And we can see if we push up, it says 750, 875, 937, 968. If we push down, 976, 972, 970, 960, 968, and it settled on 968 as the guess. Very cool. We'll get out of play and then click play again, which will clear this on its load, and we'll just see the edge cases. We'll push up, and it makes it. I was going up in my tone then, up, to 999. We'll get to that in a moment. That's our first bug. Very exciting. We've got our first bug, and if we stop and then push play again, remember to click in the game window if you've clicked out of it. Pushing down, we go down, 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 all the way down to 1. Okay, so it's working on the down, it's not working on the up. So it's working in general, which is fantastic. We do have a bug. Let's go in and fix that bug. So the problem is that it's not making it all the way up to 1000. So all we need to do down here in our start method, max equals max plus 1. Do a space there. And this is another cool thing that we can assign a variable as itself plus 1. So at this current point in time, max is 1000. So it's saying you are going to be 1000 plus 1. So your new assignment is 1001. Okay, so we've said max equals max plus 1 in our start method here. Save this. Back over into Unity. We'll see how well this worked. Click on play. If we can push up all the way and make it up to 1000. There we go. We've made it to 1000. There's one thing that I want you to do as a challenge. It's not a code challenge in this particular video. It is a tidy up your text challenge. So update your text to have it make sense. Be creative. Let me just remind you what I'm talking about here. So instead of saying up arrow was pressed, we want to say, is your guess higher or lower than such and such a thing? Also in here, we want to say, is it lower than, and pass in this variable here as we did with min and max. Also, what I'm really looking for is you to put a little bit more flavor into the way that you ask the player what to do and to greet them, and to make sure that everything makes sense. And as a final step on our community site, I'd like you to share your local greeting. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to come up here right at the very start for welcome to Number Wizard Yo. That's not really how I speak, being Australian, so I'm going to say, g'day, mate. Welcome to Number. That's kind of how we say it. Wizard. That's how we say it as well. That's pretty good. G'day, mate. Welcome to Number Wizard. So if you're from France, maybe you'll put a bit of a bonjour in there. If you're from England, you'll say something particularly charming and witty, no doubt. And to just do something with a little bit of flavor and a little bit of character. And then, as I showed you before, when we're looking at the top left up here of any of our videos, any of the lectures, you'll see this lecture's discussions. If you click on that, that will take you to the link where people are discussing about this particular lecture. So it'll take you to the link for the lecture we're currently on at the moment. Throw in there what you would like to say. Show us your greeting. Be a little bit witty or not. It's up to you. And I look forward to reading that and seeing how you would say hello or good day in your local greeting. So there's your challenge. Couple of steps to it. I've given you a lot to work through. Give it your best shot. And I'll see you back in here in a moment. And I'll show you what I've done. G'day and welcome back. I'm going to start by, I've already put in my g'day up here. This all looks not too bad. I'm going to change this here, higher or lower than. This will be our first time of saying to the player, then leave a space, add a plus there, then what are we doing? We're doing guess. Okay, higher or lower than guess. We initialize guess at 500, so this first time it should say 500. I'm just going to save that. Okay, so there are our initial instructions. Then when we are pushing up, we want to say, I don't think we need to have this debug anymore of up arrow was pressed, but I'm going to cut that, put it down below my guess calculations, paste it in here, and say, again, let's see, is it higher or lower than ... plus, and then guess. Why did I not put it above? Well, so if we put our text here at the top of our if statement, then it will be using whatever value of guess it currently has before we do this calculation. We want it to do this calculation and then say, is it higher or lower than this thing here? So it's important to know that order matters in this context. So I've got min equals guess and then plus guess. I don't need this second debug now because we're saying guess just here. Tidy that up a little bit. I will copy this because it's going to be exactly the same. Copy that, put it down, replace my debug.log down here. So I just pasted that over the top. We don't need this press the arrow, you push the up arrow key. We have min equals guess, guess equals this, and then debug is this correct, max, guess, and then the same again. Excellent. So, and down here, I'll put in the text now. We haven't got to the point where this is working nice and cleanly, but I'll say it's about me, isn't it? I am a genius. If you get it correct, then I'm a genius. So our game's coming together really well. In this video, we have added a tighter calculation for guess. We've talked a little bit about the execution order of statements within our code block here, and we have spent some time just making our text a little bit nicer, making our game feel a little bit more structured. In the next video, we'll be talking about methods or functions and making our game have a game loop on it so we can replay it. Great work in this video, and I will see you in the next one.